My step-grandparents shoved my 14-year-old son out of his chair at Christmas and said, "That seat belongs to our real grandson." The whole family stayed silent. I said just 4 words. My father dropped his glass and my mother realized she had destroyed everything. My step-grandparents shoved my 14-year-old son out of his chair at Christmas and said, "That seat belongs to our real grandson." The words crashed through the dining room before the turkey had even been carved. It was Christmas Eve. My parents' suburban home outside Columbus. Every inch decorated with twinkling lights and garland that suddenly felt cold. I stood frozen beside the kitchen doorway, balancing a casserole dish that suddenly seemed too heavy to hold. My son Ethan looked up in confusion as his chair scraped violently across the hardwood floor. He hadn't argued, hadn't even frowned. He simply stepped back because that's the kind of boy he had always been. Something inside me cracked. My hands trembled. My heartbeat echoed in my ears. And instead of shouting, I quietly looked at my father and said just 4 words. "We're leaving forever." The casserole slipped from my hands and shattered across the floor. No one moved. My father dropped the glass of iced tea he had been holding. It exploded beside the fireplace, soaking the Christmas presents waiting underneath the tree. My mother's face lost every bit of color. She stared at me, then at Ethan, then back toward her husband's parents. And for the first time in years she looked genuinely afraid. Not because I was angry. Because she finally believed me. Ethan quietly picked up his winter coat. "I didn't do anything wrong. Did I?" he whispered. Those words nearly destroyed me. "No, sweetheart," I answered, fighting to keep my voice steady. "You never did." As I watched him zip his coat, memories rushed through me like floodwater. I adopted Ethan when he was 6. Most people assumed he was my biological son because we shared the same dark hair and quiet smiles. The truth was far more complicated. I had spent years working with social services as an administrative assistant. One afternoon I delivered paperwork to a foster care office and noticed a little boy sitting alone with a coloring book. Every other child was laughing or talking. Ethan simply colored a tiny blue house over and over again. One of the caseworkers sighed. "Third placement this year." I couldn't stop thinking about him. Months later, after endless paperwork, interviews, home studies, lawyers, adoption agencies, background checks, and sleepless nights, he officially became my son. The judge smiled as she finalized everything. "Congratulations. Those papers changed both our lives." He stopped having nightmares. I stopped feeling alone. He called me Mom for the first time while we were shopping at Target for school supplies. I cried in the parking lot afterward. Happy tears. The kind that leave your chest aching in the best possible way. My parents congratulated me at first. My mother even knitted Ethan a blanket. But everything shifted after she remarried. Her new husband came with parents who believed blood mattered more than love. At first their comments sounded harmless. "He doesn't have your eyes. He'll probably want to meet his real family someday. Adoption is wonderful, but it's never quite the same." Every holiday became another reminder. Their biological great-grandchildren received bicycles. Ethan got gift cards. They framed family photos. He was always standing near the edge. I noticed. He noticed too. Well, he never complained. Whenever I asked whether he wanted to skip Christmas dinner, he always smiled. "It's okay, Mom." No, it wasn't okay. My father noticed the favoritism too. Sometimes I'd catch him slipping Ethan an extra $20 after dinner or taking him fishing while everyone else watched football. But he never challenged his wife's family directly. "Keeping the peace," he'd always mutter. Peace. Such an expensive word. Especially when only one person pays for it. Last spring, Ethan made the freshman baseball team. I invited everyone. Only my father came. He cheered louder than anyone. After the game, Ethan hugged him. "Thanks for coming, Grandpa." I saw tears in my father's eyes. That moment gave me hope. Maybe things were changing. Maybe I'd been wrong. Then Christmas arrived. Back in the dining room, my step-grandfather folded his arms. I simply corrected the seating arrangement. His wife nodded. "Our biological grandson sits here every year." Ethan stood silently beside me. My younger step-cousin, the so-called real grandson, looked embarrassed. "I can sit somewhere else," the boy mumbled. His grandparents ignored him. My mother finally spoke. "Maybe everyone should calm down." Calm down. I looked at her. "Did you hear what they said?" She lowered her eyes. They're old. Old. Not confused. Not suffering memory loss. Just old. As though age erased cruelty. My father still hadn't said a word. That hurt almost as much as the insult itself. I picked up my purse. Ethan picked up the pie we'd brought. We started walking toward the front door. Behind us, conversations erupted. My mother begged. My step-grandparents insisted they had done nothing wrong. Someone cried. Someone blamed misunderstandings. The Christmas music kept playing through hidden speakers as though nothing had happened. Outside, snow drifted softly across the driveway. Ethan climbed into the passenger seat. He stared through the windshield for nearly a minute before speaking. They don't like me because I'm adopted. It wasn't a question. I couldn't lie anymore. No. He nodded slowly. I figured. My heart broke in an entirely new way. Children always know. They simply wait for adults to admit it. Instead of driving home, I pulled into a late-night drive-through coffee shop. Hot chocolate for Ethan. Black coffee for me. Neither of us touched our drinks for several minutes. Then he smiled. A small, tired smile. We still have Christmas at home. We absolutely do. We stopped at Walmart on the way back. Bought frozen pizza. Cookie dough. Matching pajamas. Cheap ornaments. Nothing expensive. Everything meaningful. Became our favorite Christmas. 3 days later, my father appeared at my front door. Alone. He looked 10 years older. I should have stopped them. Yes. I was afraid. I know. He rubbed his face. Your mother hasn't stopped crying. That sentence didn't move me anymore. I had cried enough for everyone. Then he handed me a thick manila envelope. I found these while cleaning the attic. Inside sat dozens of old letters. Some written by my late grandmother. Others by my late grandfather. My hands shook as I unfolded the first one. It described the day Ethan's adoption became official. My grandmother had written, "Real family isn't created by blood. It's created by showing up every day. Anyone who says otherwise doesn't deserve the title." There were birthday cards addressed to Ethan. Christmas savings bonds she'd quietly purchased before she died. Even a handwritten note instructing my father to give Ethan her antique pocket watch when he turned 15. I looked up. Mom knew about these? He nodded. She hid them. I couldn't breathe. Why? She said her husband's parents would never accept it. Everything suddenly fit together. The blanket. The distance. The silence. My mother hadn't changed because she stopped loving Ethan. She had chosen acceptance from her new family over protecting mine. She had buried my grandparents' wishes to avoid conflict. My father wiped away tears. I helped her. At least that was honest. A week later, my mother asked to meet. We sat inside a quiet family attorney's office instead of a restaurant. She surprised me by sliding legal papers across the table. I've amended my estate. I frowned. He pushed the documents closer. Everything she owned would now be divided equally between me and Ethan. Not because of guilt. Because she wanted it recorded beyond argument. Then she placed my grandmother's pocket watch in my hands. I should have given this to him years ago. I didn't forgive her that afternoon. Some wounds refuse deadlines. But I accepted the watch. On Ethan's 15th birthday, I handed him the small wooden box. He opened it carefully. Inside rested the polished silver watch and my grandmother's letter. He read every word silently. Then he looked at me. I guess she really loved me. She absolutely did. He hugged me so tightly I could barely breathe. This Christmas looks different now. Our house is smaller. Quieter. The guest list is shorter. My step-grandparents are no longer invited. No one argues about seats because everyone already knows where they belong. My father comes early to help decorate the tree. My mother is slowly earning back pieces of trust one conversation at a time. And every Christmas Eve before anyone sits down for dinner, Ethan places my grandmother's pocket watch beside his plate. No one ever questions his seat again. Because everyone finally understands what should have been obvious from the very beginning. Family isn't defined by the people who share your blood. It's defined by the people who refuse to let you stand alone. If this story touched your heart and reminded you that true family is built on love, please like this video and subscribe to the channel. Your support helps us share more powerful stories that inspire and uplift others. Thank you so much for watching, and we can't wait to see you in the next story.